Have you ever wondered how much of your time slips away unnoticed? Imagine losing yourself in a moment, only to find that years have passed and the world has moved on without you. Listen closely to the tale of Prince Alon, a story that just might make you rethink how you spend every precious second of your life. In the heart of a lush, green valley in the Philippines, there once lived a prince named Alon. He was the youngest of the 3 sons of the wise king Datu Tagasa, ruler of a prosperous kingdom. Despite his royal heritage, Prince Alon was known far and wide for his carefree attitude and love for leisure. While his brothers trained in the art of war and governance, Alon spent his days wandering through the forests, lounging by the riverbanks, and enjoying the company of his friends. The elders of the kingdom often warned him about the value of time, but their words fell on deaf ears. One day, while resting under a massive baleti tree, Alon noticed a river that he had never seen before. The water was crystal clear, and it flowed swiftly, almost as if it was in a hurry to reach its destination. Intrigued, the prince walked along the riverbank, following its path deep into the forest. As he wandered, he lost track of time, completely absorbed in the beauty of the river and the songs of the birds that accompanied its flow. Hours turned into days, but Alon didn't notice. To him, the world outside his idle pleasures ceased to exist. As he continued his aimless journey, Alon encountered an old woman washing clothes by the river. She had silver hair and eyes that sparkled with wisdom. "Young prince," she called out, "why do you waste your days in idleness when your kingdom needs you?" Alon, unfazed by the question, merely shrugged. "There is always tomorrow," he replied, "and I have all the time in the world." The old woman sighed and shook her head. "Time is like this river," she said. "It flows swiftly, never to return. Each moment you waste is lost forever." Ignoring her warning, Alon continued his exploration, dismissing the woman's words as mere superstition. But as he ventured further, the river began to change. The once clear waters turned murky, and the swift current became slow and stagnant. The vibrant forest grew dark, and the songs of the birds were replaced by an eerie silence. Unease began to creep into Alon's heart. He tried to retrace his steps, but the path he had followed was no longer there. The forest had shifted, and he was hopelessly lost. Days passed, and Alon grew weary and weak. The joy he once found in idleness was replaced by fear and regret. He realized that while he had been wasting time, the world had moved on without him. His kingdom, his family, and his responsibilities, all left behind. He remembered the old woman's words and understood too late that time was not infinite. Desperate to return, he searched for the old woman, hoping she could guide him back, but she was nowhere to be found. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Alon reached the river again, but now it was barely a trickle, a shadow of its former self. Exhausted, he collapsed by the riverbank, staring at the sluggish water. In that moment, he understood the true cost of his wasted time. It was not just the days lost, but the opportunities, the growth, and the experiences he had forsaken. The river had carried away his chances, just as it had carried away its own waters, never to return. In the distance, Alon heard the sound of a bell. It was faint at first, but it grew louder with each passing moment. The prince struggled to his feet, following the sound. As he moved, the forest began to lighten, and the river grew stronger. He realized that the bell was guiding him back to his kingdom. But as he approached the edge of the forest, he saw that years had passed. The kingdom he once knew had changed, and so had he. His youth was gone, replaced by the lines of age and the weight of regret. When Alon finally returned to the palace, he was unrecognizable to his family and his people. He had spent so long in the forest, lost in time, that he had aged far beyond his years. The kingdom had moved on, and so had the world. Prince Alon, once full of life and potential, was now an old man with nothing but memories of what could have been. The lesson was bitter but clear. Time waits for no one, and once lost, it can never be reclaimed. As you go about your day, remember the story of Prince Alon and the swift river. Time, once lost, can never be reclaimed. So make every moment count, because you never know how much you have left. Live with purpose, cherish the present, and let this tale remind you that your time is your most valuable treasure. Thank you so much for watching. If you loved what you heard, please subscribe to our channel and ring the notification bell so you never miss a new tale.